up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself back the spine.